G'day y'all, welcome back. I know I said my last video was supposed to be the niche Emarati video. I'm doing it now, okay? It's just things were a little out of order. So today we are talking about niche Emarati by Lattafa. From what I understand, this is kind of like a branch of Lattafa that's a bit more spendy, bit more luxurious. So I've got 5 ml decants of 9 different niche Emarati scents. So we've got Toleen, Antique, Ghinwa, please let me know if I'm not pronouncing these properly, Aldana, Vintage Castle, Zikra, Remas, Khalid, and Lujain. So I'm very excited about these. It looks like some of these are actually dupes of very popular fragrances, so that's kind of exciting. So these look to be a little bit more expensive than some of the Lattafa Prides. So where I bought these from, they are $110 for a 100 ml bottle. So definitely a bit more on the spendier side for a Middle Eastern scent. But let's see if they're worth it, okay? My handy dandy notebook of blotters. Okay, so we will start with Toleen. So in Toleen, it looks like you've got ginger, pear, and rose, ambroxan and orange blossom in the heart, and then in the base you've got amber and musk. Okay, ginger, so you got a little bit of a bite from the ginger, but this looks to be maybe pretty sweet. You've got pear and rose in the top. This also claims to be unisex. Oh, my tea's over here, so. All right, Toleen it is. Oh, this smells familiar. Hold on. Whoa, okay. I definitely didn't need 2 sprays. Why does that... Wait, this smells really familiar. This is a dupe of something. I just don't know what. Oh, it's beautifully blended. This is amazing. The ginger is like... Sometimes in ginger, in a fragrance, it can come off like very, very bitter and maybe too pungent. This is still very strong. So 2 sprays was definitely overkill, especially out of these atomizers. Oh my god, it's beautiful. I think it leans maybe feminine. I think the ginger really does a good job of offsetting what might be a bit too much sweetness from the pear. So I do think that this is pretty unisex, but maybe leans a little bit feminine. It's interesting. The ginger is almost, it's giving like a patchouli vibe. Oh, it's like incredibly beautiful. I love the ginger it's fresh. I love how the ginger is very fresh, which without being too pungent. You've got that rose at the top that kind of softens out all the harsh edges. And the sweetness of the pear, I feel like it's not a prominent pear, especially now that it's drying down. I feel like it's there to make the ginger more digestible. But this smells like something. Can someone please tell me? Have I smelled this before? Maybe I've gotten like a sample of this before without realizing. Okay, as it's settling down, it is getting more unisex, less sweetness, and actually quite fresh. Like the ginger has gone very zesty and fresh. Oh my god, wait, I love this one. I'm already very impressed. When would I wear this? I think I might wear this anytime. I can't really think of a constraint with wearing a scent like this. It is incredibly strong. I don't know what the lasting power is going to be on this one, but just based on those 2 sprays, this smells like one that you will definitely smell from across the room. Perhaps be careful in close quarters. You know what I think of when I smell this? I think of like a very large, regal rose garden, a big castle with a massive like rose bushes of all different colors, and there's like fancy hedges all around, and I'm walking through in like a really fancy Tutamatoshi dress. That's like kind of the experience I'm feeling when I smell this. Very refined yet outdoorsy. This kind of like fresh bitey rose reminds me of spring. A really nice spring day, not too warm, very breezy. This smells like something I would wear. This is beautiful. I'm already very impressed by these. I don't know, you smell it and tell me what you think. Now let's go to Antique. So Antique is apparently a dupe of BDK's Gris Carnel. I have not smelled that, so just keep that in mind. I don't have the original fragrance that it's claiming to resemble. Okay, so the top notes in this one, you've got cardamom, fig, coconut. Is it coconut or coconut milk? And black tea. Middle notes are iris, vetiver, and jasmine. I'm already loving the sound of these notes. Base notes, amber, sandalwood, tonka bean, caramel, musk. Suitable for both men and women who appreciate the art of fine fragrance. Well, I mean, not to brag or anything, but I enjoy fine and not fine fragrance. Whatever that means. Shouldn't even mention that I don't like a note at this point. It doesn't matter. I sprayed it twice. I said I wasn't going to do that, and I've done it anyway. It's force of habit. Oh, whoa. Okay. Whoa. You know what? Not really a lot of coconut. It's very, It's a very muted coconut. I immediately get a milky tea. A milky tea, a little bit of a sweetness from the fig, but it's very like waxy and muted. And the iris. God, I'm a sucker for iris. I'm so predictable. I love the iris. It's very prominent in this one. It's giving like that like waxy earthiness. I love it. This is very unisex. I do wonder if Mr. Zuri would wear this one. Oh my gosh, this just smells like... It is a fine fragrance. This is very fine. It's very smooth. There's nothing that's sticking out very strongly. This seems very well blended. And when I use the word like muted, it's not, in this case, it's not bad. It's not like muddied or anything. It's just beautifully blended. Very soft. The black tea is actually very soft. It's not pungent. The sweetness isn't overwhelming from the fig. It just adds like a little bit of sweetness with a touch of spice. And then you've got that very aromatic like vetiver and juicy iris. It's like a very waxy iris and a nice edgy sandalwood. I will say I don't really get a lot of caramel. A little bit of tonka bean, not very strong. I think the sandalwood is maybe a little bit stronger at the moment. This is gorgeous. This is such a good unisex scent. I love this. It's almost kind of giving like a leather scent, like the mix of some of these notes. It almost smells like leather. And again, I don't get a strong coconut, but this is the kind of coconut that I would like. It's not accompanied with a bunch of tropical fruit. It is a very creamy, soft, dulled coconut, and I love that. Oh my god, is this my favorite so far? I think I need to get my hands on the real thing. I need to do a video on BDK. I think I'm gonna wear this one today. I think this so far is the one I'm most keen to spray once I turn this camera off. Antique. I like it. Like it very much. Curious about the longevity though, because I did notice a stark difference in strength and projection immediately after about a couple of minutes. It's noticeably quieter in the projection, so I feel like something like Toleen, it's like still pow, like in your face. Antique, I'm not really getting that same power. I sprayed the same amount. Who knows? I don't know, just something to keep in mind. Obviously, this is not a longevity test, but just, I don't know, I'd be maybe a little bit concerned about longevity and projection just based on that spray. Okay, next we've got Ghinwa. Apparently, Ghinwa is a sweet fairy floss and saffron smell that reminds you of BR540. Not gonna say anything. Okay, all right. Okay, give me a twist on BR540. Okay, I'm down for a twist on BR540-esque DNA. I'm down for a twist. So I'm getting top notes fruity, jasmine and cedarwood in the heart, and the base ambergris, oak moss, and just woody notes. So, okay, so very similar to BR540. I don't know what the fruit is. I'm very curious to see what the fruitiness is like. All right, let's spray. All right, this bottle's having a hard time. As long as I can get it on the blotter, that's all that matters. I had to like really get it on the... It's not because it's bad. It's not, I promise. It's just, it was very strong. Wow. You know what? This is definitely sweeter than I remember. Let me grab, I have a decant. Let me grab BR540. Give me a sec. Yeah, it's sweeter. Definitely. Oh yeah. The original is more earthy. Definitely more earthy, more saffron and wood, more balsamic. This is a very, very amped up sweet version of BR540. That's totally true. It is maybe not quite fairy floss sweet, but it's a much heavier sweet amber. I think I prefer this. I think I prefer this to the original BR540. It is giving like a really nice, unique sweetness. Maybe that makes this more feminine, perhaps? I don't know. If you like that BR540 DNA, this one's actually pretty good. I like this. Much sweeter, though, for sure. Actually, I'm curious. I'm curious to compare it to Untold. Club de Nuit Untold. No, still sweeter than that. I feel like I've just blasted my nostrils now. Yeah, Ghinwa is much sweeter. Wow. Much, much sweeter. But you know what? If you like that, if you want it to lean like maybe very much more feminine, or you just want to amp up the sweetness, this is a very sweet twist on that BR540 DNA. I like it. I would wear this one. I would wear this and enjoy it. I like it. It's something slightly different, I think. You're moving away from that really mossy earthiness and going a little more sweeter amber. All right, next we've got Aldana. So Hacivat by Nishane. Apparently this is a dupe, a clone. I have not smelled the original, unfortunately, so This is just, again, this is just like a blind smell. I mean, does it even necessarily need to smell the exact same as the original? If it just smells good, that's all that matters, right? All right, so in this one, you've got bergamot, lemon, pineapple, pepper, lime at the top, lots of citrus. In the middle, jasmine, lily of the valley, olibanum. In the base, patchouli, amber, woody notes, smoky notes, and musk. Ooh, okay. Very keen. That was like a spray and a half, really. Oh my god, okay. That pepper is pepperin'. It is pepperin'. This is a very bitter pepper, freshy. I'm getting that smokiness. It's a very bitter smoke. A very dirty patchouli. Lots of like dirty, deep smoky notes in here. I mean, obviously with alongside the patchouli, you've got that olibanum, lots of wood, a lot of smokiness, and then you've got that pepper at the top. Really no sweetness that I can get. A lot of citrus. I can probably pick out the lime a little bit. There is something like pineapple-esque, but it's not sweet. Well, it's a little bit sweet actually. Incredibly tart and butt puckering, you know what I mean? And as it dries down, I feel like that citrus really calms. I'm getting more of a smooth smokiness instead of that like overwhelmingly bitter pepper at the top. Now that it's settling, it's better. Very bitter but fresh. Citrus, more of the lime. I can really pick out that lime more so. Smoky, bitter, fresh lime. Listen, not for me, but if you love masculine scents, then this might be right up your alley. Very strong as well. This one was only like a spray and a half and still quite strong. Again, nothing is matching that Toleen. That Toleen is still like so strong, you guys. It's crazy. But so far with these first four, I am very impressed. I think they're all very good. A little bit concerned about the longevity on Antique, but other than that, they all smell really lovely. Okay, so next one we've got is Vintage Castle, which is described as just patchouli. So in this one, you've got a lot of greenness in the top, patchouli and iris. In the middle, you've got patchouli and mimosa. I'm assuming mimosa as in the flower mimosa. And in the base, you've got patchouli, marshmallow, and civet. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little patchoulied out, but I'm gonna spray this anyway. I'll probably need a nose break after this. Whoa! Oh, it's kind of, you know what? That iris is coming in strong at the top because it really like waxes over that patchouli. It's a very waxy patchouli. Those green notes in there, I don't know what they're using for the green notes, but I feel like if it wasn't for those, this would very easily go like really dark and super dirty. This is a true Oriental, but like a modern version of what you might consider a vintage scent. I feel like it's more modernized. So if you are a lover of vintage scents, good vintage Oriental scents, you might like this. It's got a little bit of a modern twist with something like that waxy iris in there. And you've got a little bit of a sweetness from the marshmallow, like a tiny bit of a fluffiness. This is quite daring. The description of this says, perfect for anyone who dares to stand out from the crowd. Listen, you will stand out, okay? You will definitely stand out. This is very strong patchouli, and it's, I think what saves it from being like just too dirty is those green notes. So it brightens it up a little bit. I really wish I knew what they used for that, but there's almost something aquatic in there, like it's a little bit wet or watery. Whoa, truly not a safe blind buy. If I could say nothing else, not a safe blind buy. Get a tester of this one, unless you well and truly know you love patchouli. You love Oriental fragrances and you want maybe like a modern twist on something that smells vintage. I mean, it's aptly named Vintage Castle. This is very much giving that. I needed a very long nose break after that last one. Pretty much blew me out of the house. So the next one we have is Zikra. Hope I'm saying that right. Okay, so apparently this maybe slightly resembles Angel Share, and I think he meant Wajan here by Parfums de Marly. Okay, so in Zikra we've got... in the top, we've got cognac. In the heart, we've got cinnamon and tonka bean, and a base of praline, vanilla, and sandalwood. So I'm keen for this one. I'm keen for all of them. I keep saying that for every single one, but I'm keen for all of them. Who we kidding? Oh, whoa. Okay. Yep. Very, very spicy, but not as much of a blend of spiciness. That cinnamon is very prominent. I did get a very much like a apple pie-esque kind of smell at initial spray, even though there's no fruit listed in here. There's not really a fruit sweetness. It's like that true gourmand baked good sweetness. It is probably like a heavier, denser version of Angel Share. I think I wouldn't remember Angel Share being this heavy and thick. I'm kind of waiting for it to dry down. It's very heavy cinnamon, praline. I do get booziness from the cognac, and you've got that beautiful edge from the sandalwood. This is really good. It is very... The performance of these are like just so good. I'm very impressed with how strong these are. I feel like the more it's drying down, it's kind of warming up a bit. At first initial spray, the spiciness can actually be a bit cold, but I feel like now that it's drying, it's getting a bit warmer, it's getting a bit softer, almost buttery. This is very good. Dang, these are all good. I like all of these, you guys. I'm so impressed. It is very like expensive, elegant. I would feel very powerful to wear this as a woman. I like it. It good. What if those were my reviews? Just it good, I like. Stupid. Okay. It does kind of remind me of something like Angel Share. It's got that booziness with that almost baked good kind of spiciness and butteriness. But I would say this is probably a bit heavier and stronger. Because even when I compare stuff like Camera, for example, by Lattafa, I feel that something like Angel Share just kind of is, it's very light and airy in comparison to some other similar DNA in the Middle Eastern space. Stuff like Camera and like this is just like so strong, but very good, very gourmand, delicious, smells like a buttery baked good with some booziness in there. Okay, and the next one we have is Remas. So this one is described as a floral fruity fragrance that Paco Rabanne fame wishes it smelled like. Okay, so I'm going to guess this is very fruity. To be honest, Paco Rabanne fame does not impress me that much. I feel like there have been some brands that have taken that DNA and done it better. So in the top, we've got mango and orange. In the heart, we've got jasmine and sandalwood, and in the base, we've got olibanum, white amber, and vanilla. Ooh, this is a good one for you guys up in the northern hemisphere, yeah? Good time of year for this. That was like 2.2 sprays. The first spray was very small. Oh my god, wait, it smells just like it. Maybe the fruit is still like a little bit sharp, and this just might be an issue that I have with mango and scents. Sometimes it's that it's really easy for me to go like fabric softener or like room scent with mango. I feel like you just got to be really careful with mango. It just can so easily smell like synthetic. I'm gonna wait for this one to dry down because I feel like the initial spray might be a bit misleading. The jasmine is absolutely beautiful. Loving the jasmine in this. I kind of wish I got more of that vanilla, but it's definitely there. It's kind of heavy, actually, despite having such a fruity initial spray. It's actually quite a heavy scent. The jasmine is very full and thick, and the sandalwood definitely adds a lot of heaviness. The olibanum adds a bit of a dirtiness. I think this one I would wear more in warmer weather, but maybe at nighttime. Maybe it's a little bit too thick and suffocating for the daytime, or like in the heat of the day. Maybe this is something I would reach for if I was going out at night, you know, once the sun has gone down. This might be something I'd whip out in the warmer weather. But no, it's not exactly a fresh scent. It's still quite thick and dense and heavy and very fruity. That mango note is really sticking around. This is one I definitely want to test and come back and do an update on, I think, and see how long that mango note truly lasts. Okay, next we have Khalid. For Khalid, you've got top notes of saffron, labdanum, and leather. In the heart, you've got birch, cade, and patchouli. And in the dry down, you've got benzoin, agarwood, oud, tolu balsam, and leather. Let's see, especially suitable for winter and autumn seasons. So it seems that this one has a very strong leather facet, which it does have leather in that top there. All right, Khalid. Are you the man of my dreams? No, Mr. Zuri is. Uh-oh. It's not one to come out. Okay, this is another one. Oh, there we go. Whoa! Holy leather. Very smoky saffron-laden leather. I definitely sprayed too much. Holy moly. Incredibly balsamic. The birch is also super strong. It's like fresh birch. Very balsamic, woody leather. Heavy saffron. Okay, I sprayed way too much. Why do I do that? Okay, guys, you gotta be so super careful with these. They're no joke. They're super strong. I have to leave. I have to evacuate the room. If you're gonna spray this, don't stay in a confined space. That's all I'll say. I love the birch in here. It keeps it actually nice and light. Aside from me like blasting myself out of this room, which is just from me spraying too much in a small room, it actually remains quite light. The birch keeps it nice and bright, and the balsam is very green and fresh smelling. So you get a leather, but it's a lighter, brighter, happy leather. Ooh, it's getting smokier. The more it dries down, the smokier it gets. It is still somewhat light, but is very smoky. It's like an airy smokiness. Does that even make sense? I don't know. Super balsamic, woody leather. Definitely getting like a smokier patchouli as it dries down. This is holy leather, okay? I feel like you really gotta love leather to like this one. But you know what? Interestingly, Mr. Zuri doesn't normally love leather, but he actually liked this one, so maybe that means something. Absolute last one we have is Lujain. Okay, so it looks like this looks to be, just based off the notes, this looks like it's a women's scent, but I'm not going to assume. In the top, we've got pink peppercorn, we've got rose, and the heart, we've got jasmine and tuberose, and the dry down, sandalwood, tonka, and vanilla. It looks feminine, but we'll see. Not that that matters. I know a lot of you don't care, and I don't necessarily care either, but I like to describe if I think that something smells more masculine or feminine, because I think it does help for a lot of people who have a strong preference for one or the other. It's usually why I also sometimes say like traditionally masculine, traditionally feminine, because I know a lot of people don't care, and that's fine. Okay, Lujain. All right, it's the last one, so I'll just go crazy on the spray. Well, not really that crazy. Dusty, gummy. The tuberose is kind of bitter, actually. I think the combination of the tuberose and the rose, it's like very, it's very dusty and muted. There is a bite from the pink pepper. The tonka is very strong, actually. So it's very like full. The fragrance is very full and thick. It's like full and thick and dusty. Kind of smells like a lipstick, oddly. I think it's just the tuberose that they've used in here, but it's giving like kind of a powdery makeup-y smell. Definitely not my favorite. This one's not wowing me. I feel like it's maybe a little muddy. I feel like my nose is a bit confused. Maybe the combination of the really strong tonka and the tuberose with the rose in there. I don't know. It could be that this room is just really stankin'. I don't know. It's definitely not my favorite one of all of these. I think if I were to pick my favorite scents out of these ones, Toleen is so good, you guys. Toleen is so good. I think that's definitely going to be one of my favorites, and I definitely want to test this one out. It's such a beautifully fresh and bright rose, but like elegant, like I'm walking in a castle garden. And Ghinwa, you know, the BR540 DNA. You know what? I was kind of starting to get over a lot of 540 DNA, but Ghinwa, you know what, Ghinwa? I'm back on board. I'm back on the train. I really enjoy this one. It is a lot sweeter than BR540. So if you enjoy that DNA, but just with like a little bit of a sweet twist, then I think you might like that one. Vintage Castle really surprised me. It's I love the combination of the iris in there and the patchouli. I feel like if you're a fan of vintage orientals, that maybe you'll like this. It's a little bit more modern than, you know, what you smell in a lot of vintage scents, but it reminds me of what could be a vintage scent. I really like that one, very aptly named. If you guys want further updates on these, I highly recommend that you keep an eye out for my end of the month roundups, because I often will revisit these fragrances after I've actually tested them in real life. You know, I'll wear them for a day and give you kind of a more final thoughts after I've actually worn them. So if you're interested in those kinds of updates, then I definitely recommend subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.